Diane Haas,
PA. Thank you for the reduction in emails shortly. I appreciate that.
Yes.
I got like 10
Well,
today.
that'll be next week. Now, I have to tell you, last night, I got stuck in a loop. And I think at 7:30, when I went online and checked my work email, I had like 250 bounce backs. Because I left early yesterday and had an auto reply, and I got stuck in a loop. So I ended up with 250 of those things, so.
Here. Okay. Sorry. I would like to make a motion, in light of the new information, to overturn the previous decision made in regards to Hire One and go forward with accepting and improving Hire One at Metro State.
Okay, motion to,
There you go. Already done.
so motion to approve going forward, or lend sentence approval going forward.
Yeah, but we have to reverse the previous decision with this motion.
Well, would,
You know.
just by virtue of being in.
Sure.
Okay, so motion to approve Hire One moving forward.
Accepting and approving Hire One at Metro State.
Is there a second?
Got it.
Oh.
Second by Dee. Any discussion? Jordan?
Yeah, can I ask them then, I guess? So I don't have a
Well,
chance to ask anybody?
it's got to be discussion on the motion at this point.
All right. The yield then?
Okay. Noel?
If we did not accept Hire One as students who were,
It's got to be to the motion.
I will make it work for the motion. If we, us students, do not accept the Hire One proposal, and we were already having something coming through, well, no, if we accepted it and had something coming through, would there be a fee on the students' accounts? None?
We,
For
by
your
law,
middleman-ness.
by Department of Education guidelines, by the rules, we cannot charge a student for a refund. Is that, did I understand your question correctly?
No, well, if you were the middleman, would there be a fee assessed to the student at all if they were not to opt into the Hire One?
Point of order though, Noel, it's not to the motion. Your question is not to the motion.
We need to decide on something that we're still having questions about.
So, in that case, then what you want to do is vote against the motion, and then we would return to discussion.
Point of information?
Yes.
Wouldn't it be better for everyone to get their questions answered first before we do a motion to find out, to vote no on that? I
You know,
mean,
that very
that's
well
right.
may be, but the rules of the procedure, unfortunately, call that we have to act on this motion before we can move back to discussion. That's the rules of procedure. So any discussion on the motion? Do you have a discussion? I thought it was your hand.
No, that was before the motion was made.
Christopher?
I'd like to move to table the motion.
Seconded. Okay, move to table the motion by Christopher, seconded by John. Any discussion on the motion to table? Speak to your motion, you're right, sorry.
Thank you. I have some serious concerns for how this affects the student population that we have that does not have a better banking option. I yield.
Angie, and then Noel.
We'll speak to the second.
I'll speak your second.
I have some serious concerns about it too. I don't think all the information is being presented in a timely manner. It does affect our students, and I don't think we're quite ready to vote on it at this time, pending further investigation. There you go.
Angie?
Well, unfortunately, this is happening with or without our blessing. Also, there is plenty of infrastructure within our university that allows for questions. Also, I agree with all of you. I think everyone should have a right to speak and talk about this. And if you don't want to vote on the motion, then you don't have to. Vote no. And you.
Noel?
I just think that since, well, I know Jordan and I still have some questions, it would be nice if we had the answers so that when we're speaking to students, we knew what we were talking about.
Do you yield?
Yield.
Dee and then Jordan.
If this has already been decided, then why are we discussing it in the first place?
I can speak to that. Can you? Because originally we voted against supporting Hire One.
Right.
And then Ron wanted to bring some people in to make sure that all my information was correct that I was bringing to people. And it sounds like I did have some miscommunications, and that's why I changed the motion. So.
Right, but as Angie said, if this is going forward, whether we approve it or not. what
I
is the
believe
purpose of this
administration would
discussion?
still like Senate's approval on
Okay.
behalf of the student body.
Even if we vote it down, it's still.
Even if
going
we vote
forward.
it down, it will be going forward, because I believe they said they signed a contract with Minsky, yes.
Noted.
It's outside of our individual institutions' control.
Jordan and Noel.
I just want to say, I thought the Senate meeting was kind of, the purpose was to gain information about what's going on. That's why they did this presentation. And then I'm just kind of curious, like, who all actually is employed by the school outside of the Senate getting our stipends? Like, how many people work for the school right now? It's some kind of job. Does anybody?
That would be getting paid through the Hire One, is that what you mean?
Yeah, I'm just wondering who's employed by the school right now, basically?
Here on
Sitting
Senate?
at this table? or-
Yeah, at this table.
Other than senators, correct?
Yes,
Because we all
correct.
get, okay.
Yeah, outside jobs with the school.
Okay.
I'm not a student worker. I'm a student employee.
How you?
Noel.
I just wanted to say that with Angie's information, if it's still going to go through, then, well, the more answers we can get, the better, so we can, I mean, we're student representatives, so when questions come to us, we should have the answers instead of having to come to you guys, because we don't have as much access to you as they have access to us. Yield.
Diane, then Dee.
All right, I will rescind my previous motion so that we can have some more discussion.
So by doing that, that would basically void your motion. You're okay with that?
Sure.
Because it's going to be tabled anyway,
So,
December 2nd.
she's rescinding it, so now it's not tabled, so we, just so everyone's aware, by rescinding it, it's gone.
Does
It's
it need a
not-
second?
That doesn't mean, no, because it's her motion to rescind. So that means it's not tabled, so we can't bring it back up. We would have to have a new motion if we were gonna vote on anything, just so everyone's clear. So, motion's rescinded, we'll move back to the original speakers list and go to Jordan.
All right, thanks. I have two questions, I guess, like, first is, like, if we call the car company, are we gonna be able to talk to a person, or is it like a robotic system? And then second, you said like the main reason is for time that we're doing this, because there's 50 affidavits for lost checks, you said, but a majority of the students get paper checks, so it's basically just because the school doesn't want to pay for that time dealing with the checks, right, the affidavits? And that's it, if that makes sense.
Well, it's beyond just the affidavits, it's the processing of essentially almost 3,000 checks each term, and the amount of time that it takes to do that. We haven't added any positions, we're not, looking to increase the staffing and financial management, and we're trying to do the tasks that we have to do more efficiently. And again, this is at no cost to us.
But it changes everything for the students, I mean, having to go through.
Not
an
really.
exam.
If you're getting a paper check now, you'll still have the option to get a paper check. If you're getting direct deposit, you still have that choice. And so, other than making that initial selection, it's not really changing the way you're getting your funds.
Just as a point of comparison, we're working with St. Paul College, and they had about the same percentage of students. It was roughly a third of their students that were on direct deposit. They've started with Hire One, and that's double. So we know that there are a number of students there that didn't have access to a bank account, and now they're getting their money faster, safer, and more conveniently by having a Hire One account. But as Ron said, if you're getting a paper check today, you can still get a paper check from us. Nothing changes.
Okay, and then I guess my other question, I'm just curious, like if we call for help or whatever the number, it's a person, right?
It's
not through the
absolutely.
computer
So
system?
you can-
Alright, thanks.
If you want to go online, you can. If you want to use our automated phone service, you can. But if you want to talk to somebody, you can. All our 800 help is based here in the States. We don't farm that out. So they're all our people. They're all based here somewhere in the United States. And many of them are bilingual.
Thanks.
Yield.
Thank you.
Christopher.
I guess the last piece of question I have really pertains to students' confidential information. And so I know that they're gonna need to, if they wanna refuse Hire One services, my understanding right now is that they'll need to go online or call somebody and opt out. How much of their personal information must they supply? And does the school supply you on that student so that they're able to opt out?
The only information that Metro State supplies us is directory information. It's your name, it's your address, and an email address if you have one, and a phone number if you have one, that's it, okay? Again, as I stated earlier, we were founded by college students, and so we don't spam. We don't sell your information to anybody, okay? We don't do that anyway, but we're contractually bound not to as well.
Thank you.
Well, just to kind of add on to that, Christopher, anything that we transmit to Hire One, you know, particularly like refund information and stuff like that, it's all done via secure FTP server. So it's not transmitted over the web or, you know, in any kind of open source type file.
Again, if you go back to the top, we're just giving students choices, and they're free. So you can use any bank, you can get a paper check, or if you want an account from Hire One, you can choose that as well.
John?
You talked about there's other options such as the Premier account, things of that nature. How many other account options are there, first of all? Just a general idea. I don't know.
Well, there are three options. There's a basic one account, there's a one account flex, there's a one account premier.
Okay. And what are the fees for those to the students if they choose to use it?
Anywhere from no cost to a couple bucks a month.
Rob?
And the, time to go off with, so at a couple bucks a month, you can use any ATM and not have to pay the ATM fee, the $250
Yep.
ATM fee?
All that information's online.
Okay, and I know that when you use an ATM machine, it takes it, the ATM machine itself takes like $250 out, and then there's an additional
It protects you
Like-
from that.
$250 or $5 or something at the bank, so it protects you from the whole thing?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. I yield.
And Noel?
My question was this, if, say Rob decides, well, no, not Rob, because he's with Bremer, but, someone who had a bank that was not Bremer, and so the school's money comes from Bremer, goes to Hire One, and then goes to the other bank, which is where, say, you were doing a direct deposit, because you, are opting out of Hire One. There's no fee for that student for doing that at all?
No. And again, you're not opting out of Hire One. You're just selecting the bank you want to use.
Okay, so yeah, we're all opted into Hire One, but we are deciding whether we want to
You're
use
sending
the
it to your,
debit card.
you're sending it to your personal checking or savings account.
There's no fee for that.
Okay,
We don't charge for a paper check. We don't charge for sending money to another bank. Just like we don't charge for a one account.
you,
I have one quick question, then we'll go to you. Then we'll actually go to Angie and then Rob. My question is, are you guys FDIC insured?
Absolutely.
That's all I needed to know. Angie?
Rob can go before me.
Rob?
I forgot what I was gonna ask, it just went right past me. I yield.
We can come back if we need to.
All right.
Angie?
I'd like to make a motion that in light of the new information,
Reading off my
to
paper.
overrun previous decisions made in regards to Hire One and go forward with this accepting and approving Hire One at Metro State.
So essentially, you motion to provide support of the Senate for moving forward with Hire One.
Yes,
Yes.
Chair.
Second.
Motion, second by Dee.
Oh, it's my motion.
Angie, speak to your motion.
I yield. I think we're right. I think it seems like everyone seems to be very educated on the subject.
Dee Price, PA. Speak to
We're
your
ready
second.
to vote.
and yield.
Any discussion on the motion?
I have a discussion.
On the
Can you
motion?
read the words of the motion? As you had said, it's already been done. We are only